I was asked to talk about innovation and growth and health. So the kind of work that I've done, first I did some work a few years ago showing that investing in health is good for economic growth. For the same reasons as investing in education is good for economic growth. It enhances productivity. We are more productive when we are in better health. We are more inventive. If you want to have an innovative population, you need to have a population in good health. So investing in health is as important as investing in education. The other thing is that innovation is a very important aspect of health. For example, in the United States, where the COVID crisis revealed very interesting things. The US have a social model which is deficient. Unemployment means that you lose health coverage a lot in the US. So COVID meant that a substantial fraction of the population lost access to health services. So that's one of the reasons why the death toll is so high in the US of the COVID. So that's the bad part. The bad part of the US model is that they don't insure properly against the risk of falling sick. And so a large fraction of population lost health coverage or a proper health treatment when COVID arrived because they became unemployed or because they could not afford the cost of treatment. So that's the bad aspect of the US model of capitalism. But on the other hand, the US does better than Europe in terms of innovation. They have the BARDA, B-A-R-D-A, Biology Advanced Research Development Agency. And the BARDA develops innovation and tough technologies in biology. They are very aggressive on purchasing vaccines. They have a budget 12 billion euros, I think something like that, when Europe on the whole, we are at 4 billion or something much less than the BARDA. So I pushed very hard for creating the EU equivalent of the US BARDA. And in fact, I was very happy because the head of the European Commission, Mrs. von der Leyen, announced a few days ago that we would create an EU BARDA. So that I think is a very good step in the right direction. You see, so that's very interesting because COVID reveals the weaknesses of capitalism in various countries. In the US, the weakness is the social model. They have to change their social model. Whereas in Europe, we are much better at insuring individuals against the risk of falling sick. But on the other hand, the US is much better than Europe. And you see that also when you look at patents in biology, they patent much more and they do very high quality patents in biotech and biology in the US compared with Europe. And there on innovation, the US is much better than Europe. So how can we be better? We create a BARDA. We need to also have a financial system which is more prone to favoring innovation. For example, venture capital is underdeveloped in Europe. Institutional investors are underdeveloped in Europe. So we need to develop a whole ecosystem to favor more innovation, in particular in health. And there is a last aspect I wanted to draw your attention. The COVID crisis revealed that countries like France were too dependent on foreign countries, particularly on China and Far East, for respirators, for principes actifs, for reactive, and for a number of products that were crucial in dealing with the COVID crisis. For example, we do tests in France, but the results of the test take 1 week to arrive because we don't have the principes actifs. We bring them from China, whereas Germany is much more independent than France is. So the thing is that France used to be number one or among the best worldwide in biotech pharmaceutics. And we lost ground because we did not invest enough in innovation in that sector. And in fact, there are other sectors in France where since the early 2000s, we lost to the rest of the world. So we need to have a true industrial policy. And that's where, again, the BARDA is one element. But we need to have a true industrial policy to regain control of our leadership in pharmaceutics and biotech. We have very good researchers. We have the Institut Pasteur, we have Mérieux, we have very good people, but we need to enhance our capabilities to again regain the leadership that we have lost and we used to have before. So I think those are the three lessons. I mean, one lesson is the Barda thing and innovation more. The second lesson is that on the social, we are doing better than the US. And the third one is that we need to do active industrial policy to regain control of the value chains in biotech and pharmaceuticals. And that will take, very voluntary policy on the part of the French government and together with other European governments. I think that's all I had to say. Thank you very much.